Hey, thank you for tuning in once again to Beats and Vows right here on Beat District Radio with your boy Nick, aka DJ Phat Mack. Here on Beats and Vows, we talk about nothing but wedding tips and tricks for the perfect wedding couple and also for anybody who's looking to break off into the wedding field. So today I have my good friend. I have Miss the one and only, the redheaded queen, LaShondria Hunt. Everybody welcome her into the podcast. Yeah, me. Well, I really appreciate you for coming on and we talk about shopping. We have a good time doing it. So I appreciate that today.
All right, Nick, I just want to thank you for having me. And yeah, Sean with ShonLove Events, your favorite wedding day coordinator. St. Louis finest. So I am happy to be here. I'm excited to talk about weddings. I can talk about weddings all day long. So what we gonna start with?
Hey, we gonna start from your journey, right?
Yeah, well, basically,
let's talk about it.
Let's
like, how did you get started in this field and all of that all those beautiful things?
So 9 years ago, my cousin got married and said I was gonna do her wedding, and I said no. So it literally started with a no.
It started with it. Why did you say no? Why did you say no?
I had no idea about weddings. I wasn't familiar with the weddings. I had no idea what a wedding planner was, where the wedding coordinator was. I had been married, but I don't remember anything. So I went on YouTube.
Okay.
And I just kind of saw the way that a wedding went. And I just watched a couple videos. But I asked her, why did I have to do her wedding? And she said that I was assertive and that people would listen to me. I had no idea what that meant, but I learned later on in the journey that it's very important. So, but what ended up happening is I did her wedding, created a timeline. It was perfect. But what was killing me was people was asking her how much she paid me. I was doing it for free. Yeah, turned out it was free. She gave me a tip, but the wedding was perfect. From the moment the wedding started, the music to all the vendors, the bridal party, getting married, the reception, the ceremony, reception, cocktail hour, it was perfect.
Right.
The whole night, people just kept asking for my card. Of course, I didn't have a card.
You didn't have any cards at the time.
So I was trying to make sure. I'm like, whoa. And then I found out that people made money doing this. It was an actual job. Like, people owned a business being an actual wedding planner, wedding coordinator. So then I said, I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to see if I really know how to do this. I'm going to do somebody's wedding for free.
Okay.
I went to Facebook and I was like, who getting married? I had this couple. This girl said she was getting married. She said she trusted me to do her wedding.
Right.
I did her wedding again. It was at the heart of St. Louis. Vendor management, music, vendors, bridal party, rehearsal, everything. It was perfect. Yeah. Again, I was doing it for free.
You was doing it for free.
This time he gave me a tip. It was $500.
Nice.
I went outside and talked to God now. Because at this time, I'm 40 years old. Hadn't really found my purpose. Hadn't found my passion.
Okay.
Been married. Had a kid. Had another kid. Started life over with my second husband now and my kid. But I never really knew it was something I could do. But I did it so easy. It was so natural for me. So then talked to God. When I got some training. Went to some conventions. Got certified. Started my business. And the first year was probably 2018 is when I really got started. I did a few for free. 2019, I felt like if I build it, they will come. So I went on Facebook.
Field of Dreams.
The Field of Dreams, baby. I went on Facebook again and I asked. I said, who's getting married? This time I was doing weddings for like $500, $800, $900. And then eventually I just kept building my clientele.
Right.
And I guess I'm a blessing because I've built my business off of Facebook.
I love it, as you should. Social media, let's go.
Social media, everybody say you got to be on Instagram, you got to be on social media, you got to be on all these other quote-unquote high-end websites. And
right.
Facebook
was your go-to.
Was my go-to. They share it just took probably 100. I would make a post and I would get probably 300 shares. My Facebook built my business. I am so thankful and I'm so blessed for my Facebook friends. But then that's pretty much how I got started.
Yeah.
I started for free. I started charging. And then the more experience I got, better I got, and I was able to up my prices.
I love it. So even going back, right, when you first did your first wedding, right? You say you did it for free, and you was looking on YouTube and stuff like that. How many videos did you think you looked at on YouTube to kind of get some helpful tips for yourself?
So back then, I think like 2018, 2017.
Okay.
People wasn't
It really wasn't a lot.
They
It wasn't
doing
a lot.
a lot
It wasn't
of
a lot.
videos, and I kind of just looked at somebody who had posted their wedding, and I kind of just seen the order that they was coming down. I was already really good with time management, so I'm good. If I could put a time on everything in my life, it would be good because time is valuable to me.
All day.
That's the only thing that we all have that we share the same amount of, and you cannot get it back. So time has always been valuable to me. So with that, it was easy for me. With that, me valuing time, knowing that time is money, and being assertive. I'm one of those people that can tell somebody sit down, shut up, and move, and they still like me.
As you should.
So that has been pretty much after watching a couple videos, being the person that I am naturally.
Yeah.
That's why I was able to execute that first wedding.
Exactly.
But when I executed wedding number 2,
You was ready.
oh man, God, boy, I was like, come on, God.
You was ready.
I was so ready.
That's what I'm talking about. So even with those videos, did you initially start reaching out to your vendors, like as a wedding coordinator? Because did you help her plan from beginning to end, or was you like day of?
I was day of.
You was day, okay.
I was
so
day
you necessarily
of,
didn't
and
have
I
to do
didn't
that. You
even
just
know.
managed the vendors for that
She
day.
gave me the
right?
vendors. I managed them, and I actually told them what to do when they got there. I had no clue what they were supposed to do, but I knew that what I wanted the day to look. She told me what she wanted her day to look like, so I knew what it took for me to execute it. And I must say that it came natural.
Okay, I love it.
Because we had a soloist, we had a live band.
Oh, y'all had a lot of moving parts.
It was a lot of moving parts. It was a full ceremony. We had parents, we had grandparents. It was a full wedding, and for it to be my first one, I was so proud.
And you did that all by yourself?
By myself.
You didn't have like an assistant or anything? That's
no
what I'm saying.
assistant, no clue. I didn't even know I needed an assistant. I didn't even know that I was supposed to have. I didn't even know that I was a wedding coordinator. I was helping my cousin.
I'm just helping to help out.
I'm here to help. That's it.
Oh my goodness. I love it. So, and that's why Beats and Vows is here, you know what I'm saying, to help people like that, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. I figure there's not a lot that I see. There's some out there on YouTube, but especially in the St. Louis market, we don't have anything, right? In my opinion.
This
right?
is absolutely great. I am excited about the Beats and Vows because, like you say, our brides, they never been married before.
Exactly.
So they have a place that they can come and just listen to and see, okay, I need this. Okay, this is the DJ I need. Okay, so I need to make sure that I need to get one makeup artist for every 6 faces. Or they can get some tips to know what they can do to even make their wedding day successful, because everybody cannot afford a full planner. And it's twofold. They can't afford, I ain't gonna say they can't afford a planner, but what I will say that sometimes a wedding planner is a little bit more out of the budget. And a lot of brides want to be involved in planning their wedding.
Yeah.
But not only the brides, the grooms get hip too.
Yep. The
So
grooms get
they
hip.
want to be planned, but you can plan your wedding, but you can't execute it.
Right.
So that's when I jump in.
All day. Now, what do you feel like your strength is? Is it more the day of, like within those last, 30 to 45 days, or is the full planning for you?
My strength definitely lies in the last 6 to 8 weeks of the wedding.
Okay.
If I could be real, that's what I love.
Yeah.
I love that my clients can come to me and say they stressed out, and I can tell them they shouldn't be stressed out. I should be stressed out, and I'm not stressed out.
Right.
So my strength lies before, because to be honest, I'm not even interested in going to eat the cake with them. I'm not interested in going to visit and find the venue. I'm really just not interested in that hand-holding process. I like to get down to what's real, what's ready, and execute.
And I've noticed, when I meet with my clients, one of the first things I ask them, outside when I'm having my first initial meeting, in a sense of consultation, right? When I'm finding out more about my couples and how they met and all that great stuff, and what's their dream look like for their wedding. But one of the first major things I ask them, do you have a planner? Do you have a day of manager?
That's right.
Right?
Wedding day
and
management.
when I hear yes, I get excited. When I hear no, I'm like, oh shit.
Right, because listen,
I'm like, I'm sending you a list of preferred
That's
vendors after we get off this call.
because you know, and they don't know, but you know that when there is a wedding coordinator, the day is smooth.
Smoother.
It's smooth for all the vendors. I always tell my clients, when your vendors find out you have a wedding day manager, they will love you.
All day.
They gonna love
All
you.
day.
They gonna love and they gonna appreciate you because it's not chaotic. There's a plan. They know what's going on and they have a person that they can talk to.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
And that's the beauty part about it. I love that. And then, you know, we worked together and I felt like it was flawless.
Man,
I felt like it was flawless.
Them people wouldn't even sit down and eat.
They wouldn't even sit down and eat.
The people wouldn't sit down and eat.
Like they got filet mignon over here and they didn't want to eat it.
See, you said when you get your clients for the consultation, you say, do you have a wedding coordinator, wedding day manager? I say, DJ first.
Hey man, let's get
People remember DJ and they gonna remember your food. They gonna remember that they ate good and they gonna remember that they jammed.
That's true. Even if they didn't eat good,
They
be like, okay. They be like, it was cool. It was
kicked it.
edible with the food. They go like, it was edible. It was definitely decent.
But
I mean, it's late. We probably hit up that Waffle House and White Houses after this anyway. But yeah,
listen, they gonna remember that the time they had. They gonna remember that they was on the dance floor all night. They gonna remember that they jammed. So I always say the DJ and the caterer is gonna make or break your event. Oh, don't bring me down to the don't ask me about the alcohol. Don't ask me about the alcohol. Don't ask me about it.
I'm not gonna ask about it. Well, I'm
I'ma
asking
go
her
ahead
about
and
it.
tell
Man,
you
you might as well. We here.
Since we here,
we here. I got my little.
Don't y'all be out here having these weddings without no alcohol.
I don't even care if you don't drink.
I don't care if you don't drink. When people get out, some of them get a babysitter. They want to have a good time.
They want to have a good, because it's a party for them.
It's a party. It's an outing. It's a celebration. Don't y'all have these weddings without no alcohol? Because here's the thing. They gonna leave and get some alcohol. Whether you drink it, you provide. And I'm not saying you have to have an open bar.
Yeah, but at least have.
You have to have
something.
access to some alcohol.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the night, it would be me, you, and a DJ dancing. Because everybody else is gone. They done ate your food up.
Yeah.
And they gone.
They go, and you pay for what we say, 7 to 8 hours, maybe
7 to 8 hours, and then
of your venue.
That's right.
Right?
That's
and there's nobody there because everybody like, man, the food was cool, DJ was cool, but at the end of the day,
we gotta have
I want a little liquid in me, right?
Absolutely.
I would tell people, I would walk around and go to the bar, get some water or something like that, and I see people drink. I'm like, yeah, keep on drinking. The more you drink, the better I sound. More you drink, the better I sound.
I'm telling you, I always tell you can have an open bar, you can have a cash bar, you can have beer, wine, and water and juice, but you have to have access. The people will absolutely leave your wedding, and they may come back and they may not come back. They gonna eat and they gonna leave and go get alcohol. So for me and my clients, having access to alcohol is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether, like I say, whether the couple drinks or not, because even people that don't drink, they like to have a drink on the night of the celebration.
For sure, right?
Yep.
Even if, and I'm gonna say it,
Go ahead.
even if you're a Christian.
That's right. Well,
right? I know DJ some Christian weddings.
That's right.
And the ones that I've DJed some Christian weddings, we gone by 7 o'clock.
See what I'm saying?
We out of here. We gone.
And they gone to drink because they couldn't drink there, but they really wanted to drink.
Yeah, they really wanted to
They
drink.
could have had some wine. They could have had some beer.
Something.
And then here's the other thing. I gotta kind of shout myself out. I did 100 weddings this year.
Me. Where's my button at? Where is my
January 1st,
insert the me mirror right here.
100 celebrations. And
Let's go, sis.
Thank you. But I have yet to see nobody funky drunk at a wedding. They don't allow people to get drunk like that. I have not. I have not.
In my years.
I have.
have.
Do you know I have brides who want to cut the liquor out? They pay for 4 hours. They want to cut it off at 3. We will not.
Yeah.
But I have yet to see somebody on the floor drunk. How many people you saw drunk?
Okay. And it's grooms.
Okay, it's their party.
It's the
They
grooms.
don't know what's going on.
Look, it's a couple of grooms and they came out their shirt.
That's right. I've seen it.
Now they walking around with their AT shirts. I ain't gonna say the other word. So they walking around just with AT shirts on and suspenders, right? So the groom is faded. One groom, he was Asian, right? It's a fusion wedding. So he was Asian.
Okay.
She was American, right? And I didn't realize how much Asians drink Hennessy.
Okay. They on that dark liquor.
They had cases on top of cases on top of cases. So you know how couples will go around to each table and greet them, whatever. It was cool. They had shots for each one of they. So they taking shots with each one of these tables.
Okay.
And mind you, they steady drinking. So at one point the bar was just like, we just gonna keep filling it. We just gonna keep filling it up. The uncles was walking around with bottles of Hennessy in their hand on the dance. They was kicking it though.
Jamming.
Put it this way, my man didn't make it.
See what I'm saying?
They had to carry him out.
He spent a lot of money.
They had to carry him out.
Guests, I ain't seen no guests this night.
No, I ain't seen no.
I had to drag them out of there.
Nobody had to get dragged out.
Okay.
A couple of people you had to take the mic from. A couple of people had to take the mic from. We're gonna talk about that.
We can talk about that.
That's
a good one.
Okay.
We can talk about that.
So, like I did, I was doing for the Association Bridal Consultation this past week, right? And we was talking about DJ tips and timelines or whatever the case may be. And one of the things I try to urge, and I know because of the timeline, it depends on how it flows. I usually say, if we can do the toast before dinner,
absolutely,
let's knock it out. Especially, we're talking about alcohol, right? They asked me, they was like, why do you want to do the toast before dinner? Because they used to seeing on TVs somebody clinking the glass during dinner or whatever. I get that, right? But the thing about it is you let everybody drink during cocktail hour. If you had a party bus, your groomsmen, your grooms, they bent. And then now we're going to wait potentially another hour for them to keep going back to the bar. And then we're going to give them an open mic to start talking about a so-called toast. Yes. Because to me, first of all, a toast, people, let's talk about what a toast should be, in my opinion.
Go ahead.
It should be congratulate you. I wish you nothing but the best luck.
To the bride and
groom.
That's right.
I don't know when it became a story of
we gonna ride or die.
When we was in the tub together as cousins.
I have no idea.
When did it come? Man, you remember when we was in college going back to parties? When did it become that? Versus, if anybody's out there listening and you are a best man, you are a maid of honor, you are a daddy, you are a mama, whomever is supposed to be just, I congratulate you. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Short and sweet, people.
Short and sweet, dope and deep.
Dope and deep.
Dope and deep. Short and
dope
sweet.
And deep.
Dope and deep. We not riding and dying.
Sheesh.
We ain't going to the end. We here living. We go congratulate. Short and sweet. Dope and deep. Anything else after that, ain't nobody listening to you no more. They done.
Sis, I had a brother. It was a brother. When I say brother, it was the brother of the groom. He was like, yeah, I just wanted to. He had his cool guy shades on, his stunner shades. This is after dinner. He already got a drink in his hand. He been drinking. You can tell from a distance. He turned. My man said, got on the mic. He's like, yeah, y'all, the first time I met my now sister-in-law, when I walked in the house, I guess they stayed together. They stayed together. He said, when I walked in, all I heard was bump, bump, bump.
I would have snatched the mic up out his hand.
You just embarrassed everybody.
Everybody. Because why? That's what I'm telling you. Listen, when my clients tell me who's going to toast, if they say the maid of honor, the best man, the mom, the dad, we are only doing 4. I am very strict because you got to think everybody got on new clothes, they've been drinking, and then everybody in their feelings.
Yes.
We're not about to do that.
Yes. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I urge for the parents to speak at the rehearsal dinner. If you got a rehearsal dinner,
that's a good tip.
Because let mom and daddy get all that out.
That's right.
And keep it at that best man and maid of honor. If you got two best men, you got two maid and matron, let them 4.
I'm absolutely consider. I think that's a great tip.
Let them speak all night long if they want to.
They will.
Because we can tell them like, hey, you can tell them on the side, y'all got 5 minutes, 35 minutes. But that daddy,
that's forever. He gonna brag.
Because he gonna brag.
Talk. And
I paid for this.
I was gonna say if he spent some money, I paid for it.
I get off when I want to get off.
Yes.
So I urge my couples, tell your parents, like, hey, look, daddy, I love you. I'm gonna have you. You gonna be the main act at the rehearsal dinner.
Let me tell you what I had one time. So it was the maid of honor. Now she drunk at this time, because mind you, this is after
dinner. Once again, so that's what I said. You wait till after dinner. This is what happens.
She congratulate the bride. She congratulate the groom, and then she did her thing, and then she left. But she went to the back of the line. She came back. So I'm like, oh, sis back. She come back, and then she said, this is the second time. And I'm standing there, and I was on it because it just didn't feel right. She said, yeah, we had been looking for her a good man. And we found her a good man. So we was going through all the Facebook profiles, and we was running names. And as soon as she was finna say, we found yours, I snatched the mic out of her hand. How embarrassing is that? You did not have to come back up to say that.
You didn't.
They divorced now. Okay.
How about,
but you know.
How about the groomsmen come up after second marriage?
Okay.
It's good to see y'all again.
Oh my!
Welcome back.
These are things not to do.
Not to do.
At the toast.
At the toast. If we giving out tips, these are things not to do.
These are things not to do.
When you see this video, you hear this, share this with your wedding party. Share this with your best man. Share this with your maid of honor, your parents, all that, to know what not to do during the toast.
That's right.
Right. So speaking of that, what is some of your do's and don'ts? What is something that's a trend now and you was like, I hope this goes away? Or something that you've seen as a trend that you was like, this is pretty cool, I kind of like this, I might incorporate this when I talk to my clients?
Let me see. Do's and don'ts. You know what I think is going away? I don't know if it's a do or don't, but I felt last year, 2024, I didn't do that many garter toss.
Ooh,
I
need
do
that
a
to
lot
be
of
gone.
garter toss.
100%
Let's talk
of that
about
gone.
the garter toss. So I did a consultation last night, and the bride, it was the same sex, and she said, when I toss this garter, they better not sniff it. But you won't believe that I always have my clients get 2 garters. They gonna have one that she'll wear and one that she'll toss.
Okay.
So I go out and I switch it out real fast.
Yeah.
Because whoever catches it might sniff it, and that's real. But I think it's becoming very. Oh yeah, I have always a double one in my pouch. Yeah. And right before we switch out,
sniffing it.
They will sniff it.
Wow. I've never heard.
Yes, every man and every groom come out, they say they better not sniff it. And I'm gonna say 90% of my weddings, I suggest 2 garters, one to toss, one to keep. And they say, because they've been on her leg all day. You got them pheromones.
Sniffing.
Hey, it's full of pheromones. They will sip. They will.
I'm done.
Sniff it. So, but I think back to the tips. I think that's going away.
Yeah. Nah.
I think that the garter toss is going away. A lot of people it's kind of embarrassing. They don't want to do it in front of their parents. Sure. What is something that I've seen that I like? I would probably say I am seeing a lot of couples that are getting more involved with their guests. Mm-hmm. So they'll go over to the table and take pictures, or they'll go over to the table and they'll come to a song, like come up to the buffet with a song, or stuff like that.
I've seen that somewhere. I've yet to do it, but I'm going to encourage that to my couples. Is that when you hear your song,
it's time for you to go.
It's time for you to go. If it's a buffet style.
If it's a buffet style. Right. I've seen, what else I've seen? I've seen that I really like. The couple is giving out the cake. They're passing the cake out to the guests. So they're kind of interacting with them too. But let me tell you what I want people to stop doing. Can you ask them to stop asking the DJ to let the older people know that it's about to get ratchet in here?
I'm not doing it.
Could you explain to these people that they know when it's time to go?
I know, I'm not doing it.
When they know when it's time. They know when the music change that they gonna get out of here. The people, the older crowd, they just want their cake.
Yes.
And they want to go.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the DJ make an announcement. It's about to get ratchet up in here. We about to start bouncing. You ain't got to do that.
No. The music, because the music will change.
The music will change.
It will change.
And
if you got a
know.
good DJ, the music will change.
Absolutely.
Right?
My bride's out at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, I want you to tell the DJ to make an announcement that the music about to get ratchet. I'm like, we're not going to do that. Because they're going to get cake and they're going to leave.
Yeah. Because I'm under different, a lot of DJs, it depends. If they're club DJs. Salute. Technically came from a club.
Okay.
Still do it technically, but at the same time, my passion right now is private events and weddings.
Okay.
So I know both worlds.
That's right.
Right. So at the end of the day, if I make that announcement, I'm not back at the club. That's a club.
Right.
Matter of fact, the club that I'm DJ at, I don't even make that announcement. Them older folks that's there, when they hear Sexy Red,
it's time for me to go. But some of them want to stay. But you got some that's
stay.
On the dance floor. That wedding we had together.
They go stay, right?
They was there.
But once again, it just depends.
That's right.
On exactly, it just depends once again exactly. You ain't got to make that announcement. At the end of the day, you don't have to make the announcement because when you make that announcement, it just feels weird.
Yes.
Now I did have a couple where she said, you know what? She was like, don't worry about it. Because she wanted explicit music.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily that was going to get ratchet, but she let her know. She
didn't want a PG-13.
She didn't want a PG-13.
We about to turn up.
It is what it is,
That's
right? I don't restrict my clients from saying, no, I'm only doing clean music, right? Like, if that's what you want, that's what you want.
But we still going to jam.
Right. So what she said, because it's about communication.
That's right.
So we had that conversation in our final planning meeting. And then I double checked with her on the day of, because it was some ministers that was there because they were speaking.
Okay.
Right. So I was like, hey,
you sure?
This is what we doing.
That's right.
She was like, yes. She was like, matter of fact, because she was like, I'm going to take the mic because they did their last thank yous.
Okay.
Right before the dance floor opened up. So she's like, thank you, blah blah blah. Me, my husband, all that great stuff. Then she said, just to let you know, I let my DJ know that I paid for. That I want explicit music. So if this is something you cannot handle, you are more than welcome.
That's right.
And we appreciate you. Right? And we was turned up from there.
See? That's good.
But it was, to me, that was a little bit more classier than just saying.
We about to turn up. Get out of here and leave if you want to leave. Don't stay. Don't complain. Yeah. Another tip. You have to have cake.
Okay.
Somewhere along
Cupcakes?
the line, any kind of cake. Any dessert.
Okay. I was going to say donuts or whatever. Yeah.
Dessert.
Okay.
After they have a great dinner, they are looking for dessert. I had a wedding where they didn't have cake. I had so many inquiries. Where's the cake? Where's the cake? Where's the cake? They want cake. Now, I ain't saying you got to spend a lot of money on a cake.
No.
You can get a small cake that you can cut for the purposes of your pictures, for the memory. But I've had people have large sheet cakes in the back and they come out and cut the cake.
And they just come out
and they just hand the cakes on it. They don't care.
Yeah.
They want cake. So cake is still important.
Okay.
So cake
is
very important.
So some type of dessert, cake, cupcakes.
A dessert bar.
Donuts,
donut
wall.
Macaroons.
Donut wall scares the hell out of me. But that's
what's that?
The donut wall.
Oh, yeah.
Picking out.
Give me one. I'll put that back.
No. I seen donuts. They're like, hey, nigga, we got donuts. Where's the box?
That's right. Where'd it come from?
Where the box? No, just give me the one out the box.
That's
I'm going to take the one out.
Because them been sitting out. I don't want that.
I'll let y'all keep that one. So what else you got?
Let's see. If I could say anything, brides, do not let all them women get their hair done.
Oh, that's a
hair
good one.
Is one of the,
that is a great
hair
one.
And makeup is one of the biggest timeline killers. I always suggest to my brides, one makeup artist for every 6 faces.
Okay.
Anything over that, pushing the line. Because unfortunately, a lot of hair and makeup stylists, they are not really concerned with the start of your wedding day.
Right.
They're concerned about what they're supposed to be doing.
That's it.
I've had a bride who got married at 4 o'clock and makeup was supposed to be done at 3 o'clock. And we had to travel to another venue. But what I say that to say is that the makeup artist was not considerate of the bride getting dressed, the photos, the robe photos. She wasn't considerate of traveling. So there was no way that we can finish makeup at 3 o'clock and we have the wedding start on time at 4 o'clock. I always say time is money.
Yeah.
Whole lot of money about to be spent.
So, mind you, the beat thing, I'm talking about beat, in your face beat.
Okay.
Everything like that. That what would you as a woman, that probably came within the last 5 years, would you say?
Getting the makeup done.
Yeah. Like
So I've
the
only
whole
been here for
face beat.
the whole face beat. I've only been here for 8 years.
Okay.
And we've always done makeup.
Right. So my thing is it a good idea for your bridesmaids or your grooms or your bride squad, whatever, because you never know. Some guys may want their face beat too.
I've had
it is
room
right,
with his
of
face
course,
beat.
right. So is it a good idea to have all your bridesmaids to get their face beat with your same makeup artist, or that's something that you need to do on your own before you leave the house?
If it was up to me, well, one of my requirements is everybody is getting their makeup done, and we're all going to be in the same location. So we have the makeup artists come to the hotel, the Airbnb, or wherever we're getting makeup done at. We are together. Women have to be together.
Okay.
Women have to be together.
I feel you.
If we got less than 5 people, I would allow them to go somewhere else to get their makeup done. But it's also the part of the bonding. It's part of the support for the bride.
Okay.
It's part of the beginning of the day.
Nice.
So the bride being with her bride squad is very, very important. And I make my brides hold her people accountable.
And how many makeup artists do we need that day?
So if we got 9, we got 9 faces, we need 2 makeup artists. We got 14 faces, we need 3 makeup artists.
Okay.
We got 6, we could do 1. So I'd like to give everybody an hour per face.
Okay.
1 hour per face, because some people got good skin, some people got bad skin, some people cry when they get lashes put on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different things, but makeup is so expensive, so I feel like everybody should get their moment to be pampered.
I ain't mad at that.
We got a
I'm mad
big
at
day
that.
coming up,
Yeah.
and we got to look good on these pictures, because these pictures gonna last forever.
That part.
So
That part.
that's why I'm really big on makeup. I think hair should be done, unless you are the bride. You can get your hair done on the day of, but then don't forget, this is not your wedding. Get your hair done the day before, get your makeup done the day of.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, does that go into the budget and all that?
So
And
So
who
here's the
pays
other
for that?
thing.
Who's paying for this?
So I'm glad you asked. Being part of a bride squad or a bridal party is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And it is okay to say no. If you cannot afford it,
Yeah.
say no.
Right.
Instead of coming and don't want to be there. Bride makeup is probably for just, I'm gonna say $85 to $100 for a bridesmaid or maid of honor. That ain't even a bride makeup. That ain't even a bride's face.
And that's coming out
sometimes
that's
the
coming out
bride-
their pocket. That's not coming out the bride's pocket.
It
or
depends on the
couple's
budget.
pocket.
But
Depends on
most
the budget.
times
Okay.
it's the bride. When you agree to be in somebody's wedding, you have to agree to get your makeup done, your nails done, your hair done, your dress, your shoes, and then the bride sometimes to buy the accessories. So that's why I say it's okay not to say no, because it's expensive to be in somebody's wedding. And that's why I tell people time is money.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a lot of money. They spent more money than you spent, but still you spent a lot of money to be in their wedding. A groom's tux, what a tux about?
I would say, well, and that's the thing about it. Now we're evolved into most grooms. It depends.
Are they getting custom?
They getting custom.
I know how much custom costs.
Exactly.
I don't know how much them grooms, but them custom can run
Them
from
customs.
600 to 800
Easily. So if you getting something out of like a Men's Warehouse or whatever the case may be, 150 maybe.
Okay, 150.
So it's
they
not
gotta
bad.
get your shoes. Then you gotta get their haircut.
Yeah, so
Beards
and all
done.
that.
They
Yeah.
wanna. So it's
It's-
a lot of money.
I'm
It's
gonna tell you,
expensive.
when my boys get married, I like, look here. I'm telling you, you got 5 years to stay married. Anything less than that, I need
You
my
gotta
money
stay
back,
within
sir.
it. We would like to have a refund.
I need
at
my
least
money
the money
back.
to run out.
I need my
I need
money
you
back.
to stay as much money as we
At least
spend.
give me 5, bro. After 5, y'all can do what you
I agree. I totally agree. But a
can do
lot
what
of
y'all wanna do.
women fall out because they can't afford to be in the wedding, and they don't.
Ain't
really
nothing
know
wrong
how
with
to-
that.
And they don't know how to have a
They
conversation.
don't. Because, I don't care what's your background.
That's right.
Everybody you just can't say no because
That's
You like, man, I got to find a way to do this. And initially you might say, yeah, right? And then not realizing that
group text say we need $35 deposit, or you got to have the dress by.
And then we doing this bridal party.
And they going on bachelorette.
We're doing
trips.
We're doing these trips now.
Right.
And you cannot be a part of that. You got to be on these Zoom calls.
That's right.
So now you got to take out your time for that.
That's
and
right.
then if it depends on, I might want all of y'all to go to this wedding show. You like, look here, I would just want to be there the day of.
I just want to hang out.
So in my opinion, that's why you get your tribe.
That's why
you just get your tribe.
Have 13 bridesmaids and 13 groomsmen. I think a solid group would probably be 3 and 3.
I'm with that.
3 and 3, solid. You got your
rocks.
best, these your people. But when you start getting the 13 and 14 people on each side, 18 and 20, man, that becomes people management.
Look,
that's when the rate
I know
go
that's
up.
your best friend at work. I understand,
I know you like
but
her.
still, just tell her to pull up, and that's about it.
That's right.
Tell her
And
to
I
pull
tell
up and just have a
people,
good time.
when you announce that you are getting married, everybody want to come.
Everybody want to come.
Sometimes people just want to invite. They ain't even gonna show up. Nick, they not gonna show up. They just want to say that they was invited to the wedding.
The wedding. You care about it.
She my Facebook friend. Mm-hmm. I've been watching them for the last 5 years. Oh, I work with her. I talk to her every day. Everybody cannot come.
Everybody ain't your friend.
Everybody cannot come.
Partner.
I always like to tell people, you have to think of these people as if, do I want to spend $500 on them? Do I want to spend the minimum? I'll say is $350. Because you're gonna entertaining them, you are feeding them, you're providing them alcohol, the venue, all the chairs. The chair is $20 a chair. So I provided you a seat, the charger, the menu card, the napkin. This stuff gets expensive. So when you are creating your list, look at it that way. I always tell my clients, look at it, do I want to spend $250 on them?
Yeah.
Are they worth $250? Or are they worth $450?
Exactly.
The more you are spending, the more you are spending on your guests.
Right.
To celebrate. So I always tell them to look at it like that. And my other cute thing I always tell them is, you inviting 150 guests? Tell everybody he gets 75, I got 75, and he got a big family. Or she got a big family. Because you tell me, oh, I got 150 guests, then I feel like I should be able to come. But if you tell me I only can invite 75 people, then they'll be like, well, if there's an opportunity or if something come up, then let me come.
Yeah.
But 150 sound like I should be
there
at this wedding.
Yeah.
So I always kind of tell them to do that, and it works.
It works.
It works.
I like that idea. I like that idea, and people should push that more. So, and I know because we kind of dibble dab it in a little bit, but I know like you say, your strengths are the day of manager, right?
That's right.
So how do you still help somebody else out, or what would you encourage like far as they budget goes? Because that's a big thing, because I realize that I'm trying to figure out where these couples pull these budgets from and where's they go to, and that's part of one of the things that we do here on Beats and Vows is try to help people out, like, because where you pulling these budgets from is beyond me.
Okay.
Right? Because now you said I have a budget of this, but who told you what that budget is? Like, how do you know how much a day of manager should be? How much do you know how much a caterer or a DJ, professional
should be? The thing. You don't know. And I always tell other vendors, and your job is to educate them. When I do a consultation with them, I start off and let them know what you see on the internet, those flowers $40,000, $50,000. Easily. So you really don't know what the price is going to be until you really get in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people get in after the deposits because you don't realize that a caterer costs this amount. You don't realize that a great DJ costs this amount. Mm-hmm. And when I say professional, for me, I feel like there's very good vendors at every level.
Yes.
But there's some vendors that I will not use. Just because of it's still money being spent. Mm-hmm. And just because I'm not spending $1,500 on my DJ and I'm spending $500, I still should be able to get a certain level of service. I still should expect you to be on time. I still should expect you to play the music that I asked you to play. So stuff like that. But the budgets, to be honest, I really don't know that people know unless you got money just growing on trees.
Yeah.
They don't know until they get there. So when I get my clients, I kind of educate them on their need and the service that I provide.
Right.
And I tell them how valuable I am. And
like
one of the most important things is you about to spend a lot of money, and I let them know.
Yeah.
You about to spend a lot of money, and we got to manage it. My job is to come in and make sure that this stuff goes on time, because the venue does not care that your ceremony went late. At 10 o'clock, pack up. It's time to go. You know?
Let's go. Because like you said before, and I'm pretty sure you're not free or $500 anymore, right? So what was the point for you that you was like, okay, I need to know my worth, or where I'm at, and this is how much I'm going to charge, which is X, Y, and Z.
If I could be honest with you,
okay,
I'm gonna tell you when I realized my worth, when I had clients paying for balloon installs more than they was paying for me. Those big elaborate balloon installations, they are a minimum 15. The more balloons it is, the more expensive it is. And that right there taught me charge your worth. If a balloon can come in here and just sit here and be $1,500 and the person who made the balloons gone, and I'm here managing these people for 10 or 12 hours.
Look here.
Some balloons made more money than me.
Yes.
Nick, ain't no balloons gonna make more money than me. So that for me, if I could be real, when I look at these contracts and I see that you pay $1,500 for balloons and I only charge you $850, and I'm here from 10 in the morning to 9 o'clock, and my feet hurt, and them balloons didn't do nothing.
They ain't do nothing, and they gonna come and pop them at the end.
And then they gonna come in and pop the balloons. So that really is where I started looking around. But then I started realizing how hard I was working. Mm-hmm. And then I started realizing from my reviews, and I knew it was my passion. It came naturally for me. So then that's where I was able to, get to where the price point that I charge, and able to, because I'm worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure.
I'm worth it.
100%. I don't know what it is, but 100%. Whatever you know what it is, I'm going to even say probably raise it. I tell all professional vendors, if you don't do it at least once a quarter or at least twice a year, please do at least once a year.
Once a year.
At least. I don't even care.
That's good advice.
I don't even care what that amount you may raise it. It could be 100.
Okay.
Or it may be like, I'm going to raise it another $50 for this type of service, whatever. Raise something. So if you are at 2,000, the beginning of 2025, it should have been nothing less than 22. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or 21 or whatever.
Yeah, especially because you coming
raising
in
it, right? You
with
know
your
what I'm
blood, sweat, and tears every time.
All day. I did 100 weddings.
That's right. Oh,
I know my worth.
100 weddings.
I know a DJ, professional DJ. He's out in the East Coast.
Okay.
We had a great conversation. He said, he's like, Nick, how often do you raise your rates? And I told him at that time it was probably like once a year, something like that. He says this is what he does. He raises his rates after, like, say for instance, he gets 3 or 4 bookings and they all say yes. He raised his rates.
You know what somebody told me?
He's like, I'm too cheap.
If they can pay you right off.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Yes. And I'm like, that's dope. I'm like, so I take that into consideration sometimes, right?
Okay.
So, but at the same time, with that being said, is that, because I had my similar story where I was negotiating. That's when I used to negotiate. Negotiated back and forth this couple. Got there, I seen ice sculptures.
See?
I seen they faces on some snot rags, which is some tissue.
See?
And I'm like, and you negotiated with me?
That's right.
How dare you?
Like the balloons.
How dare you?
Yes. They got those nice gold chairs where they pay $20 per chair.
Now, do you have a mentor in the industry that's somebody who you go to and or even if it's like somebody in another state, right? Or somebody who you go to on YouTube now or whatever. Is anybody who you like?
Absolutely. I have a business coach that I used 2 years right during COVID. I thought it was time for me to get a business coach. Her name was Ophelia McKnight.
Okay.
I found her on Instagram. I was just hashtagging wedding business coaches. Awesome. She was so expensive. I was so nervous to pay her. But it taught me. I went ahead and did. I paid her. And when I tell you, it took my business to another level.
Wow, I love it.
Took my business to another level. I think I paid her like 2020. I think I paid her like $2,800.
And you should.
Listen.
You probably should have.
Took my business to another level. But when I tell you I was so scared to invest in myself. Right now I'm looking for a business coach again because I'm ready to scale.
Okay.
So I'm in the process again of finding me another business coach.
Yeah.
I think that the blueprint is there. Sometimes we do not have to go out and create it again.
We don't have
somebody is out there getting it.
Yep.
And I'm always down to pay somebody for it. I'm down to pay somebody for their knowledge and their skills because I feel like people should get paid for it.
Yeah, because that's gonna be you one day.
It's gonna be me.
That's will be you. I guarantee that's gonna be your platform one day. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm all about here in St. Louis. I can't say that I've had the opportunity to be mentored by anybody, but I'm always open to mentor. And
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, everybody.
And every year I still kind of give back. I always find myself giving back to some of my clients. I had this one young lady. She could not afford me. But when I tell you she would not stop calling me, she was emailing me, she was calling me. And I just finally said, "You cannot afford me." And she started laughing. And she said, "I just want you that bad."
Wow.
But guess what I got?
What's that?
I did it. It was a small event. It was a retirement party for her mom. She was 23 years old. Wow. I just charged her for my vendor list.
I love it.
And I got 2 people that called me from her mom's event.
What?
So it always come back. I feel like you put it in the universe. It's gonna come back to me.
It's gonna come back. I love that. I love that about what you got going on, and like you said, you're expressing, putting that back into the universe. I feel like 10,000%, right? So what is that, some tips that you can give, like anybody who wants to jump off in this field? They may be the same way. They, like, I don't even know where to get started, but somebody asked me to do this before I even go there, because even though I encourage people, I'm like, who's going to do your wedding? And they was like, well, I got this friend of mine.
Oh, my auntie.
I got my auntie, right? And your story, though, even though I cringe with that, right? But your story is kind of inspiring and make me take a step back for a little bit, because don't judge it off tops.
That's right.
Because you never know what that person is and what the impact they can have on that day of, where you be like, even though this is your first one, girl, you rock that. Dude, you did that thing today, right? So I appreciate that. So, but at the same time, with that being said, what is some encouragement or tips that you would have for anybody who's listening and is like, I don't know where to go. What should I do?
So I think a lot of brides, after they plan their own wedding, they feel like they can be a wedding planner or wedding coordinator. But if I could give any advice, I would always say go to a wedding convention, like Wedding MBA. Any type of wedding convention. But now we got social media where we have all these different Facebook groups. We got groups on Instagram. If you can go and Google a wedding course, I got a course coming out this year. Wedding coordinator.
Come on.
ShonLove wedding coordinator course, because I do have a lot of inquiries of people asking me what to do and how to do it, how to get started. But if I can give any advice, I would probably tell people to probably sign up for a convention.
There you go.
I would go to a convention to kind of get an idea, and hey, do it for free.
Connect.
connect,
do one for
network,
free, yes.
do one for free. You know somebody's getting married, ask them, hey, let me do your wedding and see how it comes out. And then you will know if you can do it after that first free one,
Yes.
you know. But get a mentor. I think getting a mentor is very, very important.
Yes.
Because like I say, the blueprint is already there. But I also feel like people should be willing to pay people for their knowledge.
Yes,
You know?
I agree.
Especially if you want to be successful, you know. So, but if I could give any advice, it would probably be to go to like a wedding convention. Wedding MBA, I always loved.
Wedding
It was
MBA is
good.
dope.
It was,
But
you know, it was good.
I missed this one because it was a convention that was here too that I did
Okay.
for ABC.
ABC.
ABC
Okay.
was here
So
at
I
the
looked
same
into
time.
ABC, but I didn't. This year I didn't get. Last year I didn't do any conventions.
Gotcha.
But so I try to do them every other year. But ABC is a good one. It's local, so if you're local,
Yep.
are they having one this year?
Yeah,
again?
so they have like monthly or quarterly meetings,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Which is awesome. So
Okay.
I encourage anybody to do anything like that. If you find some monthly, quarterly meetings, or anybody's doing something local in your city, definitely do that. But they're moving, they move around each
they
and
move
every
around
year.
each year.
So this
Okay.
year is New Orleans.
Oh man, that's look. At
I'm
me.
look.
I love all.
I'm trying to get on the books to DJ for that one too.
Okay.
Try to be the
so
main
that's
DJ
what I would
for that, so
recommend.
yeah.
Get around the people that you want. You can't be what you can't see.
Ooh, hey, she been dropping nuggets to y'all
Can't be
all
what you
day.
can't see. I got that from a women empowerment brunch.
Dropping these nuggets.
That's right.
Dropping these nuggets.
You cannot be what you cannot see.
So Sean, so tell me and others,
Okay.
how can they find you?
So I can be found on Facebook at ShonLove Events. And I am on Instagram, ShonLove Events. And then my website, www.shonloveevents.com. My phone number is 314-882-1435. I like to call myself professionally unprofessional. I'm one of the people you can send a text message. I got my phone in my hand. I'm respond. I'm not a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Don't call me after that. You can inbox me. I answer my inboxes, my Google reviews. I absolutely love and adore my Google reviews because it's the truth. But if you're looking for me, absolutely send me an email, ShonLoveEvents@gmail.com. ShonLove Events is on all social media platforms.
I love it. I love it. So I hope y'all have taken anything. Before I go there, is there any last words that you want to say to whether it's a couples or to about anybody like who's looking to break it off? Is there any last thing that's on your heart?
If I could say anything, go be great. Just be great.
Okay.
If you want to get married, go ahead and get married. Go ahead. We ain't getting no older. And if you young, hey, if you got your person, I feel like you should go ahead and do it. Don't go to the courthouse.
Unless
We have
it's-
so many other options.
What if it's your
Don't
third
go
or
to the-
fourth though?
If it's your third or fourth wedding, do not go to the courthouse.
Still don't
ahead and
go.
You can do it in your living room.
Okay, I'm
We
with you.
can have
Okay,
an official.
I'm
We have
with
some
you.
awesome officials that can come in your backyard, and it could be so
Yeah.
up close and personal. We don't have to be in the court, you
Okay.
know. So
I like it. I like it.
I feel like,
I like it.
we have other options. So
I like it.
I love, believe in love, keep believing in love, and keep loving. And I want to thank you for having me. This has been an awesome adventure.
We
I've
definitely
never done
doing a
this
part two.
before, so I absolutely.
We definitely
Thank
doing
you
a
for
part two.
having me, Nick.
Guaranteed. And the topic's gonna be a little bit different. So we definitely
I'm
gonna do
down.
a part two.
I'm down.
And things like that. So I really appreciate Sean for coming on today with us and celebrating life, celebrating love, and telling us great things about the field of wedding planning, wedding management. So until the next time, between time, right here on Beat District Radio with Beats and Vows with your boy DJ Phat Mack. Life is music, music is life. Talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.